80% of commuters observed had discarded their masks. Fast forward to May, and that number has doubled, with over 10 to 20% of train commuters choosing to go mask-free. Moreover, during after-work hours and nighttime excursions, the number of maskless individuals is even more pronounced. It's understandable that people prioritize comfort and enjoyment when venturing out at night. In all seriousness, it seems that most people only wear masks during working hours, setting them aside once the workday concludes. With the COVID policies being scrapped for just 2 weeks, it's reasonable to anticipate that more and more people will shed their masks during both daytime and nighttime activities. If you are currently in Japan or planning to visit Japan, there's no need to feel obligated to wear a mask everywhere you go. In fact, the only situation where I would recommend wearing a mask is on public transportation, and even then, only if it's excessively crowded. Overall, the mask situation in Japan is evolving more rapidly than anyone could have anticipated. The improvement in the mask situation is not the only positive development, as Japan's tourism industry continues to rebound impressively. Domestic tourism in Japan is in full swing, with over 95% of major cities reporting a substantial increase in crowds during the Golden Week holiday. While domestic tourism is thriving, let's not forget the surge in international tourists visiting Japan. The tourist figures for April have been released, and they reveal that Japan hosted almost 2 million visitors last month, which is 66% of the peak tourist numbers prior to the pandemic. As we track the gradual return to pre-pandemic levels, two intriguing points emerge. Firstly, Chinese tourists have significantly contributed to the surge in tourism and are now spending more per capita compared to pre-pandemic times. Tourist spending has seen a staggering 30% increase, as reported by Japan's tourism agency. Furthermore, tourists are projected to spend more this year than during Japan's busiest tourist year. These statistics are particularly impressive considering that Japan has only reached 66% of its peak tourism numbers. Among the visitors from different countries, the highest spenders hail from Australia, France, and China. The prominence of China is noteworthy because it is poised to become even more relevant in the coming months. In February, only 36,000 Chinese tourists visited Japan, but in April, that number nearly tripled to 108,000. As China continues to open up, we can expect this figure to rise rapidly, propelling Japan's tourism numbers back to pre-pandemic levels sooner than anticipated. The recovery of flight services between China and Japan remains a factor that could influence the pace of this resurgence. Now, let's discuss what all of these recent changes and updates mean for you. If you are planning to visit Japan in the near future, it is advisable to plan your trip meticulously and book accommodations well in advance. Although you don't need to plan every minute detail, having a clear itinerary and knowing whether certain destinations require advanced bookings will undoubtedly enhance your travel experience. This extends to reserving hotels well ahead of time. Recently, hotel prices have been soaring, and given the ongoing shortage of hotel staff, it is likely that prices will remain somewhat elevated for the foreseeable future. With the mask situation continuing to improve, you'll only need to bring a few masks for your trip. Restaurants seldom require patrons to wear masks anymore, if at all, and people rarely wear masks when they venture out for the evening. The only scenario where wearing a mask might be advisable is when using public transportation, particularly if it's densely crowded. So prepare yourself for an enjoyable journey and leave your worries about masks behind. As all these policies become a thing of the past, Japan is gradually reclaiming its former glory and promises to offer you an unforgettable experience. If you found this video helpful, like and subscribe for more content about travel guide and tips. Kindly comment below for more travel information that you wish to hear about. That wraps it up for now. Happy traveling!